Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As 2023 wraps up, I thought it'd be really fun to take a look back at all the makeup releases that happened in 2023, and I wanted to share what I think were the best makeup releases of 2023. So let's get right into it. So I have some incredible products, like what I think personally are the best launches of 2023 laid out in front of me, but I want to give you a warning. I really think that 2023 was the year of complexion. 2023, we saw some incredible complexion launches, like really truly amazing complexion products came out in 2023. And so majority of this list actually is complexion. So why don't we start with complexion? Now, I just wouldn't be right if I didn't start this video off by sharing my love for the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. If you're not new to my channel, you know that I already love this product. I rave about it all the time. I use it all the time. So I'll try to keep this short and sweet. This is the most beautiful foundation formula that I have seen and tried and used in a really long time. Haus Labs, the way they knocked out of the park with this foundation, I mean, hats off to them. They did an incredible job. They really, really did such an amazing job with this foundation. It looks like beautiful, flawless skin. Like it just looks like a satiny, gorgeous. It's a medium to full, very buildable coverage foundation. The way it blends on your skin, the way it sits on your skin, it just looks like skin, which is like the best part. It doesn't look like a heavy makeup. It gives you like this beautiful coverage. I can't speak highly enough of this foundation. You have to try it. If you haven't yet, I highly encourage you to first go pick up a sample if you can. If you're able to pick up a sample in Sephora, that's usually the way to go, and that's what I recommend. If you're not, take your best guess and pick a shade out online. But this foundation, try it out. I promise you, you will fall in love with this one. So that is my top foundation. But this list is going to get even better because I have so many more foundations to share. Okay, next up is the newly reformulated Backstage Face and Body Foundation from Dior. Now, this foundation, before I got a chance to try the new formulation, I had so many people flooding me in DMs, especially on Instagram, and messaging me, asking me to try this because they wanted my thoughts because they heard so many things. So there was a lot of like chatter behind the scenes about this newly reformulated version of the product. So I was already kind of anxious to try because if you know me, you know I love the original formulation. I love it. It was perfect. And I had a lot of anxiety going into trying this new formulation. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of anxiety. I was really worried that they ruined the formula. They did not ruin the formula. That's why this is included in this video. I think this is one of the best launches in 2023 for a reason. This is just as good as the old one, okay? But hear me out. It is different. It is different. It takes a minute to notice, but it is different. It's still incredibly long lasting. It's still water resistant. They have more skincare ingredients in this. When that happens, it's just inevitably going to be a little bit more of a glowy finish. So the old formulation was much more matte. It dried down to like a satin matte, very, very long lasting. This one is still very long lasting, but it is more of a satin plus some extra glow. So it's like satiny, but leaning on the glowy side. So if that's not what suits you and that's not what your preference is, you might not like this new formulation. If you are more on the dry skin side, or if you're a combo, even if you're oily, I really urge you to try the new formulation. I think it's outstanding. They did a beautiful job. Every time I put this on my skin, I'm like, I blend it on, it blends out in 2 seconds, it lasts all day, it looks incredible on. I mean, it really is an incredible formula foundation. So I'm happy to say this has made it to what I think are some of the best products that were launched in 2023. Thank God, because I didn't want to be disappointed by the new formulation. Speaking of great formulations and new formulations, this is a new formulation from MAC. I was surprised how much I love this one. This is the MAC Studio Radiance. It's a serum powered foundation. Just like the Dior where it has added skincare ingredients to the formula, this is packed with skincare ingredients. So much so, okay, that if you know MAC shade ranges and how they run and like the levels that they run. So this is a MAC NC20. Normally an NC20 would look much lighter. It would look more like this color, okay, to the eye, especially in the bottle. Because this formula has so many skincare ingredients in it, it actually altered the way the shades came out, basically. I'm maybe butchering the way to explain this, but someone reached out to me from MAC and told me this firsthand because I was really confused why they had sent me an NC20 when normally I'd be like an NC30. So I was like, oh, I don't know, guys. I think you might have sent me the wrong shade. But I put this on. This is actually a touch too dark for me even. So NC17 is the correct shade for me in this formula, but it's very confusing. So if you're one shade in your MAC foundation and then you go to buy this new one, just know there's going to be a big difference in the shade range and the shade that you pick out. It's going to be right for you. It's going to be a big, big difference. But beautiful foundation. I think this is the best foundation that launched this year for dry skin, personally. I don't think this is the best foundation for oily skin. I am more leaning oily. I can still make this work, and I still think it's a beautiful foundation. So had to include this. And also, way to go, MAC. I'm happy to include something from MAC. I'm an OG MAC girl, and I'm happy to include something from MAC in this list of products. Now, speaking of amazing complexion, okay, I have two cream-based formula complexion products that are beautiful, like beautiful. One, let's talk about this one first because it's in my hand. So no surprise here. I talk about these all the time. I use them all the time. I genuinely, everything that's in this list, okay, I genuinely love so much. I think Fenty just killed it with these. I think they just killed it. These are so fantastic. They're the Fenty Ease Drop Tint Stick. They're a skin blurring, smoothing tint stick. They have an old formulation that's like a liquid. It's the Ease Drop liquid skin tint. So this formula is based on that formula, that original formula, but in a cream stick form. So there's just something magical about this. I don't know what it is, but I can pack on this product. I can swipe it all over my face. I can put an insane amount of product on my face, blend it out, and it still looks natural and beautiful. The wear time is fantastic. The feeling of it is fantastic. When I wear this, I always get compliments, which is always a nice thing. Like, I get compliments on my skin, not necessarily my makeup, but people will be like, well, your skin looks so pretty. Like, what are you wearing? And like, it's so nice. There's nothing like getting a compliment when you're wearing a certain foundation. It just really tells you that to the eye, like if I'm looking in the mirror, it looks great. That's fantastic. But if someone else, like an outsider, thinks my skin looks great when I'm wearing a product, that's like the true test. Do you know what I mean? These are amazing. They're so user-friendly. You do not need to be good at blending. You do not need to be good at applying foundation products. You do not need to be good at doing makeup at all to wear these. So I think that these are like not only like so beginner friendly, they're so easy to use that you just can't get them wrong. You can't do a bad job applying these. Fantastic, great coverage in a natural way, easy to use. You gotta try them. I mean, honestly, they never leave my makeup bag. They never ever leave like my personal makeup bag. They're never out of it. They live there permanently. The other product that I have to mention that is so beautiful, so well done. This was actually introduced to me from Lisa J, my friend, Lisa J. Not trying to brag, but she's my friend now. I love her to death. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. It says it's a powder. This is always what trips me up. It says it's a powder, but it's not. It's a cream based product. So some people actually, I found out, use this as a priming base and then they put makeup on top. I haven't used it that way. I've only used this as a foundation, and as a foundation, it looks absolutely beautiful. I've hit pan. I love it. It's very similar, I will say, and this is probably why I like it so much and probably why I like this so much. These are very similar to me in the finish that they give you and the amount of coverage and the fact that you can kind of build them up, and also the fact that they're so easy to use. They're so user friendly. They're just really easy. You know, you grab a good buffing brush, you dip into it, you buff it all over, and you're done. And you have a beautiful complexion. It is very smoothing, like it says. It does deliver a nice smooth finish to your skin. So if you do have more texture, maybe more fine lines, maybe larger pores, you might really want to check this out because it does give you a really blurring, very beautiful, soft focus finish to your skin. So, had to include this standout product. I hope this came out in 2023. I'm almost positive it did. But there's a little hint of doubt. So, if I'm wrong, leave me a comment and let me know, please. I want to kind of reverse things back to a different order. Like, I probably should have put this first ahead of my foundations and my complexion products I just showed you. But this I have to mention because this is so good. This is the MAC Hyper Real Serumizer. It's a skin balancing hydration serum. This is like a hydrating serum primer. So you use it as a primer. You would use it as your final step. The way this melts on your skin, the way this feels on your skin, and also the way it sits under makeup, it is quite impressive. It feels incredible on your skin. So this is a very skin caring product. Like it's a serum that primes your skin, gets it ready, and gets it prepped for makeup. It is very similar to the Studio Radiance Serum Foundation that was launched at the exact same time. I actually got both of these sent to me in PR together. So they were launched at the same time. So it's very similar in the fact that it has skin caring ingredients. Like this actually says on the back, it has Japanese peony extract, niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and ceramides. This just feels lovely on your skin. Really, really feels fantastic. So try it out. If you're looking for like a nice hydrating, priming product to put before your makeup, I would definitely give that a shot. So like I mentioned, we have a lot more complexion products to talk about because I really think that 2023 was the year of complexion and really great complexion. So let's get into some concealers. Lots and lots and lots of concealers launched this year. Tons. I mean, tons. If it's not like the year of complexion products, it was definitely the year of concealers. There were so many concealer launches. It was like, huh? Like one after the other after the other. But let me try to do this in the order which I tried these concealers coming up. So this one is not technically a concealer. This is an under eye brightener. This is from Rare Beauty. Love it. I've talked so many of my friends and colleagues into trying this and they loved it. But I actually did see a couple like bad reviews of this product and I was shocked because it was so the opposite of how I felt about it. And it was really eye-opening. You know, it's always eye-opening to see like someone else's perspective on a product that you love. It's very insightful. I find it interesting, you know? It's good to have a difference of opinion. It's what like makes life not boring. So very interesting. Some people did not like it. Some people were confused about it. And some people did really like it, like me on my side. The reason why I love this, let me tell you why. Because I feel like it can be like kind of a product, if you don't use it a certain way, it can kind of feel like, what's the point? So what I mean by that is it's an under eye brightener. It doesn't offer a ton of coverage, but it does give you some coverage. And actually, I'm just going to swatch a little bit on my hand. So it has a metal applicator, which they did not originate this. Christine Dominique from Dominique Cosmetics originated that. But here's the thing. It gives you this beautiful light amount of coverage. It really is very, very brightening and it is very long lasting, oddly enough. But the way I like to use this product in particular is not necessarily underneath my under eye concealer. I will use it that way. No problem. It's kind of nice. I like to like kind of mix this with a little bit of concealer, like put this first, put concealer on top. I end up using a lot less concealer when I use this first, obviously, because I already have some coverage with this. But no, the way to use this is on your day off. The way to use this and love it is on your day off. Let's say you have one of those days, or maybe this is just your normal routine. That's totally fine. Where you just wear like a tinted moisturizer, you know, maybe a little BB cream, maybe a teeny bit of cream blush, maybe a little bit of bronzer to warm up your skin, and you just want something light and natural under your eyes that when you're seeing somebody face to face, you don't want to look like you have a visible large amount of makeup on, then you're going to love this. Like this is it for that. This is the product for that. The other time that I honestly will like have loved using this product and use it the most, to be really, really honest with you, is when I'm running to a Pilates class and I don't want to look horribly tired. And I want to look like just, you know, like I slept and I don't look like I'm really, really tired. Because if I don't wear anything under my eyes, I have very dark circles and they also just get really red. My eyes get really red. It's really fun, but it just is what it is. So what I do is I'll pop this under my eye. I'll tap it in, blend it in. I won't even set it with powder. It's good on its own. If you wear it on top of like bare skin, it's really nice on its own. So I loved it. I think it's a fantastic product. I think they did a really great job with the formula. The formula, it gives you just enough coverage where it makes sense and it's doing something, but not so much coverage where it's just another concealer. It really does help to cool, brighten, energize your under eyes. So speaking of under eyes, let's get into the actual concealers that I think were worth the money, were show-stopping, that did a fantastic job, all those things. No surprise here. I'm going to start with the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. It was launched at some point this year, maybe summertime. Love this concealer. I really, really love this concealer. I have almost used up all of my shade 21 light medium neutral. I also picked up the shade 22 light medium peach, which I've talked about. I picked this up to specifically use as a color corrector. It's a very peachy toned concealer and it works fantastic. But there's something about these concealers, the way they feel under your eyes is really nice. They don't feel heavy. They give you great coverage. They're very buildable. They're very long lasting. They just check all the boxes. They're a really, really great formula. And also they of course pair very well with the Triclone Skin Tech foundation. So this is probably, it might be my top concealer, but honestly, no, I'd say it's a tie between the Haus Labs and the Tower 28. I always forget the name of this. I think it's like the Swipe concealer. It's a very hydrating, very smoothing concealer. This concealer is fantastic. It is fantastic. I will say, I think this is more smoothing than the Haus Labs. They have an equal amount of coverage in my opinion, and actually you probably need a little less of this one. This one goes on very, very creamy, very full coverage. It's just a very easy to work with concealer, I think, as well. But I think specifically if you have more dry under eyes, the way this feels under your eyes, it feels like a nice, hydrating, drink of water on your eyes. It's really, really a nice formula. Even if you have, you know, normal skin under your eyes and you're not necessarily dry, you're still going to love this concealer. It's fantastic. It really is a fantastic formula. They also did a really great job with the shade range, and I think that's really worth mentioning as well. I think concealers can be very tough for some brands to just get undertones right. I've seen that happen with a lot of different makeup brands. So it is worth mentioning, in my opinion, that House Labs and Tower 28 had not only great formulas come out in 2023, but a great shade range that makes sense. Like great undertones, a wide variety of undertones, not just warm tones, not just yellow-based undertones. Great all around. Let's move on to our last concealer. I had to mention the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I picked these up very late in the game. I don't remember when these were launched. I want to say it was like way early in 2023, like beginning of 2023, if I'm remembering correctly. It took me a whole, like pretty much the whole year to actually finally go out and buy these. And when I did, I actually don't even have one for myself. I just picked up a ton of shades from my makeup kit. So these were pulled from my pro kit. I have a whole bunch. These are just random shades I pulled from my kit. I have P10 and N5, two great ones, by the way. All these are fantastic. This formula is a really great formula. It's been hyped up and talked about for good reason. The coverage is amazing. The blendability is fantastic. The wear time is also fantastic. They really do live up to the hype, in my opinion, and I can say that like with honesty because I didn't buy into the hype when they initially launched. I was like, how good could it be? And then I finally got them and I'm like, okay, these are not going to leave my makeup kit. These are fantastic. So definitely had to mention the High Glam Concealer. I think these are, again, one of the best concealers that launched in 2023. Now that we are done with concealers, I want to switch gears to just one powder, okay? Just one powder. Because I realize all the powders that I love and I use on a regular basis, you know I love my Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder. You know I love the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder. None of those launched in 2023, so I can't mention them. It's not fair. But one powder that did come out in 2023 is from the brand Make. This is my friend Carrie Barber's brand. This is a really cool and unique brand, and they've had some amazing makeup launches happen this year, but this one in particular is probably my favorite. This is the Diffusion Set Translucent Pressed Powder. This is the shade Light Medium. I use this in a very specific way. This is not necessarily the best setting powder, so I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to grab this when my makeup is actually wet to like lock it in and set it. I use this more as like a finishing powder to like fine tune, finesse, you know, add like that final layer of like flawlessness to my skin. This is the powder that I grab for that. It is really a beautiful powder. I will say too, this is really nice for dry skin. If you have oily skin, this is not going to be like your oil control blotting powder. Don't buy it for that. Buy it if you have normal skin, normal combination skin, or combination dry, or very dry skin, or mature skin. Oh, if you have mature skin, this is a fantastic powder. You know what? Let me actually show you, okay? Let me just show you, because I can use a little powder. I could always use a little powder right here, just to smooth any texture, any large pores. I'll pop a little bit on my forehead too. So I'm going to take my N14 brush. I'm going to take a little bit of that Make powder and just diffuse. Honestly, it blurs, it smooths, it resets, it refreshes, it finishes. It does so many lovely things for your skin, but it also is just incredibly lightweight. So I think that Make did a fantastic job of this powder. I need a backup of it, honestly. It's just a beautiful formula. It feels really nice. It doesn't feel like a heavy pressed powder. Because honestly, pressed powders a lot of the time can feel heavy because they're thicker powder. They're not loose and finely milled. They're more heavy. They did a great job of having a very lightweight, very silky texture pressed powder. So love this one. Had to mention it. I think it's one of the best launches of 2023 for sure. And then that's it for the powders. That was the only powder that came out, to my knowledge, that I actually liked and used. Now, let's keep it with the complexion, okay? I have some other things from House Labs. I want to bring it back to House Labs. There were so many things from House Labs that I was impressed by in 2023. One of them is the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful on. It's a great, very smooth, very buttery bronzer. Like very buttery in texture, where when you just, there's something about it. There's something, like I said, just like very buttery and velvety about this bronzer. Like it just melts into your skin. It's easy to work with. They have a really fantastic shade range. I love the packaging. Like, I know it's not really about the packaging, but the packaging sold me. I love this like plasticky rubber packaging. It's amazing. But the way this blends into your skin, It's long lasting. It gives like a soft, focused finish to your skin. It's a fantastic bronzer formula. It takes a lot to impress me with a bronzer formula because it's like powder bronzer. It's powder bronzer, you know? But they really did a fantastic job with this one. I also, side note, I love this as an eyeshadow. I absolutely love this formula as just a crease, one and done eyeshadow. Just on my days off, I'll throw this in my crease. Done. Okay, so speaking of House Labs, one more product that I have to mention. Not this shade in particular. I do love this shade. It's Pink Amethyst, but my favorite is Rose Quartz. But Rose Quartz is deep in my makeup kit, like my pro kit, and I just couldn't get to it. So, but this formula is fantastic. This is the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter. I'm going to swatch this too. So like I said, this is Pink Amethyst. Beautiful. I just think this is a great formula, and they also just knocked it out of the park with the shades. The shades are stunning. So I'm just going to swatch it right here. You see that? It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. Honestly, let's just pop a little bit on, because why not? Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit and just show you. It's so impactful. It's very buttery. It's actually very similar to the bronzer formula, where it has like that buttery finish and like feel to it. You see that? I just think they did a great job. I think these are so impressive. I think they're so worth checking out. If you want a good powder highlighter, you should definitely check out the ones from House Labs and also the bronzer. These were just show-stopping in 2023, in my opinion. Now, speaking of highlighters, okay, highlighters and also just luminous blushes, I loved, still love, but for 2023, it was all about these. RMS crushed it with these. These are the RMS Redimension Hydra Powder Blush. So there's one highlighter, which is in the shade Prosecco Fizz. Let me show you Prosecco Fizz. So look how beautiful that is. Amazing formula, like fantastic formula. Incredible color payoff. Try to find a spot. Can you see that? It's just stunning. They did a great job. These are just, I was grabbing these constantly throughout the year after they actually sent them to me in PR, so thank you RMS. But the colors that they came out with too are so beautiful. I put 2 in my makeup kit, my pro kit. Sadly, I wanted to keep them for myself, but I gave them up for my clients to be selfless. But this one I kept for myself. This is Bohemian Girl. And Bohemian Girl is like this beautiful pink peach. Oh, it's so stunning on. Like, they just did such a beautiful job with this formula. The finish, the color payoff, the way they blend on, it just works. It all works with this formula. The other one that I love is Cur Royale. This is Cur Royale. You can tell I use these a ton because they're the pans are very dirty. Let me just show you on this side. So this is like more of like a mauve rose, like a mauve-y rose. It's just so beautiful. All these, they did such a fantastic job. Okay, let me wipe my hand off really quick now that we saw those swatches. And then let's get into actually one last complexion product. Now, I did look this up, okay? Now, I am cheating a little bit because I looked this up and apparently this came out in December of 2022. So it's so close to being a 2023 product. So I thought it's like it's worth mentioning still, maybe. We missed it by a month. So let's just talk about it like very briefly. If you haven't tried the powder highlighters from Rare Beauty, they're out of this world. Like, you will see these from outer space. They're so beaming. This is the shade Exhilarate. These are kind of hard to open in my opinion, but these are like a baked, silky, beautiful highlighter. Look at that. I mean, it's like, it's beyond. Like the tiniest little speck of this and you're glowing from miles away. So Rare Beauty did a great job with their powder highlights. I think these were outstanding. I know December 2022, we're close enough. Don't hate me for including it. It was worth mentioning. Okay, let's get into the rest of these products. We're done with complexion. We had a lot of complexion. We're done with complexion. We're going to move along to what I think were the best mascara launches of 2023. So I'm not fully confident that this one came out in 2023. I'm pretty sure it did. Pretty sure. I'm not fully confident. So you'll have to let me know. If this came out in 2022, please let me know. And I'm so sorry if I got it wrong. But it was the one that I forgot to look up, to be quite honest. This is a Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. It was new to me in 2023. It was the first time I had used it. And it is a fantastic formula. The way it separates, lengthens, curls. It does it all, and it's a flake-free formula. It doesn't flake on my skin. It doesn't, like, you know, leave me with that runny mascara look, which is ideal. Fantastic. I also love the wand this one came with. It has a really nice curved wand that helps you really get in there and separate your lashes and also lift them up. So, fantastic formula. I will definitely be repurchasing this one. The other one is the Huda Beauty One Coat Wow. This is a great mascara. Very dramatic, very much indeed like a one coat wow. Like it has a lot of impact with just one coat. It thickens, lengthens, volumizing. It does everything. But this does get a little runny, I've noticed at times. Like on the bottom lash line, it could get a little transfery, a little runny. So just be careful. But it is a more dramatic mascara. So if you're looking for like a very high impact mascara, I think this one is fantastic. And the last one I want to mention is a new one that I just tried. Like within the last month, I just tried this one. It's the Give, Gwen Stefani's brand, Give. Can't Stop Staring mascara. This mascara is awesome. And I thought like, I used to see like all the targeted ads with this mascara and I thought, okay, and that's cool. You have to push products and you have to like promote them. It sounds like it's like too good to be true. Like maybe I'm just like gonna, I didn't believe the hype. But then I tried it and it actually is fantastic. It is so worth the hype. It is such a great formula. The brush alone I think is fantastic. It has a rounded tip so you can really get in there and separate these inner lashes that are really hard to get without making it a mess. Great wand, great formula, very long lasting, checks all the boxes. I mean, it's just a really great formula. I will say this gives a ton of lift and length for me. So tons of lift, tons of length, and separation. It's a great formula. Not the most thickening, but a really great lengthening and like lifting mascara. So love that. Speaking of Give, let's get into some lip products because I have a lot of lip products, okay? This is also kind of random and I discovered it just recently, but I have to say I've been using this constantly since I first tried it. It's also from Give. It is the Me, You, Yours gloss in the shade Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth is just like the shade. I love the shade Sweet Tooth. It's like a very pale pink. Works beautifully as like a nude pink lip gloss. So I read a lot of comments about this gloss and a lot of people were saying that it was just too thick for them. Like they just didn't like the thickness of it. The consistency was just way too thick. Like this is generally when I was reading like the reviews of this gloss, like what I was seeing. But that's actually why I love it. So I love a thick, slightly more goopy, if you will, gloss because, hear me out, because those last longer on your lips than the more runny, thin, serumy type formulas. Like those are nice, but they don't last and you're going to constantly reapply. I could put this on my lips and honestly, it will last on my lips just as long as a lipstick. So I think the formula is fantastic. Also, if you like things that smell incredibly delicious and sweet, oh my God, this smells so sweet. It's like decadent. It's like frosted vanilla cupcakes on your lips. If you don't like that, you're going to hate this. If you do like that, you're going to want to eat this. Like if I could actually physically eat this, it smells so good, I would eat it. So had to mention this. Great formula, great product, great gloss. What can I say? This is by far one of my favorite formulas that's come out in a while, not just in 2023, but in like a long time. They're from Ravi Beauty. So Ravi Beauty is a new makeup line created by Ali Glines. Ali Glines is on YouTube. She's incredible. She's so fun to watch. She's so pleasant to watch. Like she's so calming to watch. I find like if her video is on in the background, it's like a very soothing way to like just go about my day. I don't know. It's like very nice company and ambiance. She's very soothing to listen to. But she launched a beauty brand. So congrats to Ali Glines and it's called Ravi Beauty. And her first launch is the Effortless Lips. So these really are like an effortless lip, I have to say. I have the shade Tulip. Dahlia is also one of the colors that launched, but that one is in my pro kit because I use it a lot on my clients. Dahlia is like a staple. It never leaves my pro kit. It's like such a beautiful shade. It's like a beautiful natural pink that's very universally flattering. I'd say all these are universally flattering. So I think she did an amazing job with the 3 shades that she picked out, and that could be really difficult. It's like to only launch 3 shades to start, it's a lot of pressure to get it right. And I think she did an incredible job of launching 3 shades that are universally flattering. So no matter what your skin tone is, these are going to work for you. This one in particular is my personal favorite. It's Lily. I know I talk about Lily a lot. I use Lily a lot. I had to like chill because I'm running low on Lily and I don't want to like be completely out yet. But Lily is like, let me swatch it. A beautiful, very natural, very wearable nude. I mean, and you could pair these, any of these, with any different lip liner and you can completely change the way the lipstick looks and alter it based on the lip liner that you put underneath. So they're incredibly versatile for that reason. Congrats to Ali Glines. These are fantastic. I had to mention these in 2023 because she did a really amazing job on these lipsticks. So moving on to lip liner. The only one that came out this year that I know of, like I have millions of lip liners that you know I love. I'm a lip liner fanatic. All I do is buy lip liner. I'm obsessed with lip liner. I have tons of lip liner. But the only one that came out in 2023 that I know of that I love, it's the Tower 28 multi-liner. And I think these are fantastic, like very smoothing, very long lasting. It's just a great lip liner, like fantastic lip liner. They also launched really great shades. This one in particular is my personal favorite. It's the shade Work of Art. I have this also in my pro kit. Like this is a shade that I use and I grab constantly. So really great job with the shade and also the formula. So Tower 28 had to be mentioned in this list. Okay, that's it for the lip products. Let's switch gears to different categories. So one of the categories is brows. Brows are a big deal to me. They're very important to me. I have no brows. I have a lack of brow. So anytime a good brow pencil launches, I am so here for it. Kosas just delivered. They really delivered a fantastic micro, very fine brow pencil. So these, when I mean micro, I mean like these are very, very tiny little delicate pencils. So you do want to be careful when you're applying these if you have not used these before, like a micro kind of pencil. You want to be gentle with your pressure because if you twist them up too much and then you apply too much pressure, you'll break them off within a second. So don't do that because you don't want to waste your money. These are not, they're not expensive, but they're not like cheap. So with these, you can draw on very fine hair-like strokes, which is ideal. It's ideal for anyone who is creating a brow from scratch or filling in large gaps in their brows. You have to try this pencil. It really is fantastic. Very long wearing. I think they're really easy to use. I've heard otherwise from some people. I think you just have to get used to like having such a fine tip pencil. But once you do, these were fantastic. I had to mention these. I've already gone through so many of these, and I've also filled my pro makeup kit with all my Kosas Nano brow pencils. So if I didn't mention the name, it's the Kosas Brow Pop Nano. That's what this is. Had to be mentioned in 2023. These were probably one of the best launches as far as brows are concerned. Next up are two personal favorites of mine. These are not new formulas. Persona Cosmetics has had their cream blushes on the market for, I want to say, a couple of years now. But these two shades are new to the brand. And these two shades are two of my favorites. It's the shade Guava, which is, I'll show you in a second, and Bloom. So Bloom and Guava have become my new favorites. Let me show you what these look like on. So Guava is just a bright, gorgeous, peachy shade. It's so pretty on. It works really well if you have like a warm skin tone. Really beautiful, really, really beautiful against a warm skin tone. And this one, Bloom is the opposite. It's much more cool toned or neutral. Anybody could wear this one, honestly. These are both just beautiful, beautiful blush tones. Beautiful. I wear them all the time. So these have just been personal favorites of mine. I mean, I use these and I grab these more times than not. And in 2023, I use these heavily. So I had to mention them. Not a new formula, but new shades. They did a great, great job of these two shades. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk about some eye products and eye releases that came out in 2023. Now, I do want to say, if there's any products that you know came out in 2023 that maybe I didn't test out or that you've never seen me use on my channel, that maybe I just missed and you think should have been included in this list, please leave me a comment. I would love to know if I'm missing out on anything. I'm sure I am. I did my best. I tried a lot of products, so these are just the products that I tried throughout this year that I think are the best. So I might have missed some, inevitably. Anyway, let's move on to some really impressive eye paints. These are from Violette FR. I think I'm saying her name right. She's an incredible makeup artist, incredibly creative, like very thoughtful, has a really unique style. She's awesome to watch. She also has a YouTube channel. And she has an incredible makeup line, but her products, what stands out to me the most about her products in particular is the thought that goes behind her colors. Her shades that she launches, there's so much thought that goes on behind the scenes that goes into just launching a shade. Like she takes her time. She really works hard at creating incredible shades to launch. She doesn't just like throw out another pink lip gloss. Not that that's bad. I love this gloss, like, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of brands who just kind of throw things on the market and we're just fed things constantly, constant new releases, whether we need them or not. Like she actually puts so much thought and passion behind the shades in particular that she launches. I had to mention them because they really are like, when I think about like the most impactful and unique shades that are on the market for anything, I think about her brand. So she has these U paints. She has mattes, she has shimmers. They're all amazing. You can't go wrong with any of them. The newest one that came out is this beautiful bright blue. Wow. But if you look on the Instagram for this brand in particular, you'll see like just all the inspiration pics and like the mood boards they create to come up with their shades. It really is just so impressive. Like that's like what I love about makeup is all the thought that goes behind it If you really care about your brand, like you're gonna take the time to like pull inspiration from random things. Like she'll pull inspiration from anything. Like obviously like flowers, buildings, vases, materials, fabrics, like anything is like inspiration to her. And I just really appreciate how creative she is because she really is so unique in this huge market of like oversaturation. She really is like a true artist. The other ones I love too are this lavender shade. I won't even try to pronounce names because A, the writing is so small, I need my glasses, and also I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm just gonna skip it. I'll link them instead. But this lavender, I created a look with this one. It's gorgeous on. They're just so highly pigmented, but not only that, so shade-wise, they're obviously gorgeous standout shades for the reasons why I named, but the formulas are fantastic. So she's got shimmers, mattes, try them out. She also has some neutrals as well that she offers, which are fantastic also. But really, this brand, I think, just did an incredible job of their 2023 launches. I think they're so worth checking out. If you want some unique shades and incredible formulas, check these out. My favorite part of this video, which is going to be sharing my favorite eyeshadow palettes. Now, I'm an eyeshadow palette fanatic. I love a good eyeshadow palette. I buy so many eyeshadow palettes, it feels like, throughout the year. I get sent them, thankfully, throughout the year. And there were so many palettes that launched this year in 2023. It was hard to narrow it down, but also not hard because to me, it was all about these 3 palettes. Like, that's my opinion. I think that, and again, there's so many palettes that launched this year. And so if you're not seeing those launches in this stack, it's for a reason. My personal opinion, I don't feel like they made the cut. These are the best formula-wise, shades, creativity, all of it wrapped in one. So let's start with Danessa Myricks because she's got 2 of the palettes that I think were the best that launched in 2023. Let's start first with the Groundwork palette. Now, my label fell off. I was being really rough with it apparently, and it came off. So this is the Groundwork palette from Danessa Myricks. This is such a unique palette, but also just such a necessity. Like if you're a makeup artist or if you're just an avid makeup wearer and you want to have all those fundamental shades to build a makeup look and an eye look specifically in one palette, you have to get this one. So you'll notice that some of these are creams. The far left sides are creams. And then it has a matching powder. Just really creative. Like really creative. You could tell that a makeup artist, like a actual working makeup artist came up with this because it just makes sense. Like she launched this and I saw it like pop up in like my feed and I was like, wow, duh. Like she's like, of course, why wouldn't you have this? Why has no one launched this before? She's just so genius. She's so incredibly talented. Her formulas are fantastic. They don't ever disappoint me, ever. They're definitely pro quality. They could be maybe a little intimidating to use, I will say that. So if you're maybe newer to blending your eyeshadow or just newer to creating eye looks on yourself, there might be a little bit of a learning curve, but don't be intimidated. Just get in there and have fun and play with these. And I promise you, you'll find endless ways to create endless looks with this palette. So you'll see it's all like more neutral earth tones in this palette. So fundamental shades that anyone needs and anyone can use to create an eyeshadow look. This has been heavily used, in case you can't tell. It's very beat up, but it's heavily used, and I just think this is one of the best eyeshadow palettes by far that launched in 2023. The other one, this is like the opposite of the spectrum for Danessa Myricks. So this was launched the month before this one was launched, I believe. I think they were pretty sure they were launched back to back. This is insane. I have this on right now. Actually, this is what I have on my eyes. This metallic foiled silver. This palette is just, it's wildly fun. Like it's so outstanding and beautiful. It's the Lightwork Volume 5 I Am palette. So I don't have any of the other volumes. This is my first one I've picked up, and I'm so happy I did. Because look how beautiful this palette is. These shadows, they're not like a powder formula. These are more of like a cream formula. I think these work best when you're applying them with your fingertips. Personally, you could absolutely go in with brushes as well, and I have used them both ways. But in my opinion, they're really easy to just get in there, swipe it, which is what I did for my eyelids, and you're done. They're so easy to work with. They are a little bit more out there, a little more wild, a little more adventurous, obviously. So they're not going to be for everyone, and they're not going to be the shades that you wear to go to work. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to be like the in-office eyeshadows that you grab every single day. Or maybe they are. These are more like your fun going out when you want to be creative and you want like some glimmer and some fun on your eyes. This palette is like unbelievably impressive. All the shades are incredible. There's not one shade in here that I don't love and I think is beautiful. But these are just all shimmers. And here's what I love about this too. And what I really appreciate is this is like an all neutral, all like your fundamental shades, nothing else added to it. And this is just all straight up fun, metallic, foiled eyeshadows. Like there's no filler shades, there's no mattes to kind of counteract. Nope. She's like, I'm just gonna give you one big, bold palette of foiled, intense metallics. Boy, did she deliver, because this palette is outstanding. Not many people rival Danessa Myricks eyeshadows, in my opinion, except for Natasha Denona. So Natasha Denona definitely had my other, by far, favorite eyeshadow palette that launched in 2023. If you have not heard me talk yet about the I Need a Nude palette, then I think you're missing out on watching a lot of my videos, because I've mentioned this palette in so many videos. I love this palette so much. Let me show you why. In case you're new here, or in case you have not seen this palette, maybe you've missed it. But this launched very recently, around the same time as these other Danessa Myricks palettes. But this palette is just, oh my god, it's beautiful. It's just absolutely, it's ethereal and beautiful, and it's like, it's honestly, it's like a fairy tale. And I think this would be a perfect palette if you're a bridal makeup artist, or if you are a bride. I would absolutely look into this palette, because I think this would create just the most romantic, perfect bridal look. You can't go wrong with this palette. Formulas are fantastic. You do get a lot of different shades in here, but they are all leaning more on the neutral to cool side. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is not going to be your palette to build up and like make a bronzy warm tone look. This is all going to lean a little bit more on like the neutral, slightly cool side. So just keep that in mind. I feel like this was definitely filling a void of different like shadows that we needed on the market. I think this was definitely unique. One of the best eyeshadow palettes that I own in general, but especially in 2023, this one is, worth every penny. If you stuck around for the very end of this video, thank you so much. I had a lot to talk about. When I was sitting here, I was like, oh, do I have enough favorites for 2023? It turns out I do, and I had a lot to say about them. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, comment below. Let me know if I missed out on any great launches that happened in 2023 that you think should have been included. I really want to hear your thoughts. Tell me what I'm missing out on so I can go pick it up and purchase it. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Let me know if any of these were your favorites of 2023. And again, this is just my opinion, but I think these were the best releases out of 2023. I can't wait to see you all in 2024. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss my future videos next year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.